Hello and welcome to Friends and Family Share. My name is Tandra Campbell and I will be presenting this fantastic opportunity to you guys today.
Hello, Tandra. My name is Derek Horde, B-A-M-A-L-M-F-T. I will be listening to your presentation today. One of the things that scares me is when anybody starts off a presentation with how fantastic it's going to be, like it's a business opportunity, like I'm privileged to even be here listening to it, I get a little bit concerned.
I wanted to give you guys a little background information on the program that Friends and Family Share has modeled its program on.
Now listen very carefully to the words that she is saying. She said, I want to give you background on the concept that Friends and Family Share is modeled after. That means that Friends and Family Share is not the same thing that she's about to spend 2 minutes telling you about. She's going to explain this to you and then go off on something completely different. In fact, the slide says the differences between a traditional sou-sou and Friends and Family Share. And if you are listening to this as if it has an answer to your problem, if it is a solution, if this is a solution to wealth inequality that African Americans have been looking for their entire life, if you are listening to this, especially if the person who sent you here is someone that you love and care about, you are going to look at this video and you are going to watch it and you're not going to think critically. What I mean by that is you are going to say, my friend wouldn't send me something that would be harmful. And I don't think my friend would either on purpose. This person is a liar. And
the traditional sou-sou. A sou-sou is a savings arrangement where a group of people each pool an equal amount of money for a specific amount of time, and at some point everyone within the sou-sou would receive a full payout or a lump sum from the hand.
Okay. So now I understand it. I've had a chance to look at it. I've had a chance to read it. So the basic premise is that you get, let's say, 5 people together, and let's say that everybody in that group has a goal that they want to work towards, right? So let's say one person needs to get a new tractor. Let's say that someone wants to put a down payment on a house. Let's say something like that. So what they do is those 5 people come together and they say, for once a week, we are going to all put in $100 into this savings account. All of us are going to put $100 into this savings account. All 5 of us are going to put $100 into this savings account, which means every week this savings account is going to grow $500. At the end of the month, this savings account is going to be worth $2,000, right? And so what that means is that $2,000 is going to go to one person in that group. One person in that group is going to get that $2,000 and they're going to be able to go buy their tractor, their trailer, their whatever it might need to be, right? And so then they do it again. And then another person is at the end of the month is going to get that, right? And so if each person is paying $100 once a week, I mean, it's just a way to put away some money, tie it into something else until it's your turn to take it back out. And then you can take it and you can do it and you can use it. And then once that's over, we're done. That's done. We used it for that purpose. We don't need that anymore. It gets dissolved. As long as those people trust each other, that seems like it can work fine. Now, I may have confused it and described it a little bit wrong, but it just seems to me, I don't feel anything wrong in my spirit about that, because I could go take 3 people. I could scale it down. It could be me and my friend. We could both put $100 into a savings account once a month. There's $200. And then 1 month, he gets that $200. Then the next month, I pay the $100. He pays the $100. Then I get the $2. That's fine. That works. You can scale that down. It doesn't require there to be any more people. It's self-sustaining. It's fine. It will work. As long as there is trust, that will work. That's totally okay. That's not what she's talking about, though. And if you listen, you can really tell.
So it's not a pyramid scheme. So this is nothing new, folks. It may be new to you, but...
There we go. Here's the psychological manipulation. This is nothing new, folks. It may be new to you, which, again, it's a hit. It's like, well, why don't I know that? I should know that. Why haven't I heard about this? Man, I should really pay attention to what she's saying now, because she's right. I didn't know about this. What else may I not know? That is typical narcissistic manipulation. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy to spot. It's so easy to spot if you're looking for it. And if you're not looking for it, if you're watching this video like my friend said to watch this video, I trust my friend. It's going to be something. He's in it already. Maybe I should look in it. You would go for it. You would go for it. And it doesn't mean that there's any anything wrong with you. Don't misunderstand me. I started this video by talking about how I've been duped. Okay, let me tell my story really quick. I bought a Mitsubishi 3000 GT off of the internet, bro. Off of the internet. You remember that car? I bought that car off of the internet. It was missing so many parts, and I had to get it built. And then, do you remember, I took the car to a shop and I paid the man money to fix the car. 2 weeks later, that dude's gone. I've lost $9,600. My mom lost $9,600 on that car. And I appreciate you, Mom, for buying that car for me. And it shouldn't have happened. I appreciate my uncle for getting upset about it. I wish he would have said something. The point is, I have been duped by stuff before. I'm not saying that I'm better than everybody. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying just go back. Rewatch this video, watch it with me, and look at it as if I am looking at this because I love you, not because I'm better. And if you want to do it, that's fine. I'm gonna tell you the problems with it though.
As I mentioned, friends and family share is similar to the traditional sou-sou. However, there are some differences.
And if there are differences, then I want you to elaborate very specifically. Because if that has been working, if sou-sous have been working for the past 200 years, what makes you think you have come up with something that makes it better? If it's already been working, what do you need? What's the point? Why do we need this? Why do we need something new?
Some things that folks did not necessarily like about the sou-sou has been addressed with the friends and family share. So I wanted to start with the $500 investment. In the traditional sou-sou, folks were expected to put money in over and over and over again.
Listen to how she explains that. That is so manipulative to explain that in that way over and over and over again. No, if they said that you only had to put in, I don't know, $50 a week, then yeah, you put in $50 a week over and over and over again, much like you would do in a regular damn savings account. Listen to the manipulation in her voice.
With friends and family share, we only ask that you invest a one-time investment of $500 or give a one-time $500 gift. Importantly, it's paid out every 4 weeks. So you're not waiting months or a year or however long for the pot to be paid out.
So what you mean to tell me is that this is about instant gratification instead of being patient for 3 months, instead of being patient for 6 months, instead of being patient, because that's what you could do as opposed to this. That's the thing. It's about as fast as you can get it. Let's get it quick. I need it now. You could take $500, put it in a savings account. You could take $500 and put it in the stock market. And in 6 months, you would have more. In fact, I'm willing to do that challenge. Man, I'm willing to do that challenge. I am willing to do that challenge. Take $500 and put it in the stock market and see how much money I have compared to the person trying to get this damn flour to split off. Man, and you know what I would say? I would say, because the thing to make it fair is that I would need it to be the third person that split from the flour. So not my fire, not the fire behind me, but the fire behind them. I want them to see how much money they have compared to me with this one-time investment of $500. Even with the way the world is right now, I truly believe I could put $500 in the stock market randomly and come out better than friends and family share. Not better than a sou-sou. Not better than a sou-sou. I can come out better than a friends and family share, because in a sou-sou, I'm eventually getting my own money back. I'm just putting it up somewhere so I can't see it. In this, I gotta go wrangle 2 folks. I gotta bug all my friends. I gotta psychologically manipulate my friends. I gotta do all of this stuff to get them to do it, because if they don't join, if I don't get 2 more people behind me, I am not getting my money. I have just given $500 and I won't see it back. As opposed to a sou-sou, eventually I will get my money. It's gonna take time. It might not be this rotation. It might not be now. I just know that it's there. That way I don't depend on it. It's delayed gratification as opposed to every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, that's the problem. We move too damn fast. That's not how money works. That's not, and I'm not trying to say I know how it works. I didn't get a CPA until 3 months ago. No, it was 2 months ago. I had no idea all the things that I could be doing with money, man. No clue, because I had never taken a financial literacy class. And that's why stuff like this sounds good. Stuff like this sounds like it's actually a solution to a problem. Yes, we have issues with finances in our community. Yes, we need to have more access to wealth. Yes, we need to own more things. We need to start with the financial literacy class. I don't want to hear no shit from nobody who do not have no credentials. I don't want you talking to me about nothing without some credentials. What are you? Who are you? What do you do? What do you represent? Who are you? And then that's how these things work. Well, you don't have to know all that. She's a friend of mine, and because she's a friend, she would never do you no harm. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's just not true. I have so many people that I thought were friends. And the minute I started talking about stuff that they didn't want to hear, we're not friends anymore. I'm an expert as long as I'm talking about the stuff that you want to hear. I love you, man. This is a scam.
You get to reinvest the initial $500 to stay in the rotation.
Sounds good. We'll talk about why it's not in a minute.
So with the traditional sou-sou, what was happening is once it was paid out, the fund was dissolved, it's over, you move on.
Yes, once it was done, it was over. Everybody got what they needed. My boy bought his tractor. My friend got his down payment on his house. Sue was able to do that wedding the way that everybody got what they needed. It's done. We don't have to stay in this. But you know why you gotta stay? You wanna know why? Because it's a pyramid scheme. You have to continue to get people. The flour has to continue to break, but I'll prove it in a moment. It's cool. It's fine.
But this program, Friends and Family Share, makes it possible to take that initial $500 that you put out. Once you get your pay, you get your payout from the hand, you take 500 of that and you reinvest it and you get to start over again. So the plan is to just keep going on and on and on. How fantastic is that?
Notice the change in inflection. This program makes it possible to the initial $500 that you paid out. I know that you didn't feel like paying it. I know that you thought that it was going to be a scam. I know that you had that friend that made that YouTube video talking about how it was a scam. But if you just immediately, there are a few people immediately who will make a lot of money off of this. And even if you just limit it to the people that you care about, eventually you have to get somebody in here who isn't someone that you know. Eventually you are going to run out of people. Eventually the people, especially with something like this, when you start with your friends, eventually somebody is going to run out of fire. There's not going to be somebody to be somebody else's fire. And then that person, maybe they just lose the $500. Oh, well, they just lost 500. Unless that was the thing that they were stepping out on faith. In the name of Jesus, I sow this $500 seed so that I can get it back. Like, why do people ignore the story? I sent a story of a man saying his experience. Why do we ignore the stories when the evidence is so clear? This person is telling you who they are.
Just keep going on and on and on. How fantastic is that to receive an additional $3,500 a month just for investing $500?
The return on investment. If there is something that has existed that gives you 8 times the return on your investment in 1 month, stocks don't even perform that well. Lottery machines don't perform that well.
And how fantastic is that to receive an additional $3,500 a month just for investing $500 and introducing the program to 2 other people?
And there it is. What did you say one more time? Let's say it one more time. How do I do real fast replay?
And introducing the program to 2 other people. And introducing the program to 2 other people. And introducing the program to 2 other people. And staying in rotation.
And introducing the program to 2 other people. And this is why people losing their mind over Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter and All Lives Matter and all this stuff is because there are some people who do not know how to conceptualize the operative term and. Everything else I just said, and you got to find 2 people who are willing to give you $500. And they have to find 2 people who are willing to give them $500. And they have to find 2 people who are willing to give them $500. And they have to find 2 people who are willing to give them $500. Who is at the top, I'm wondering? Man, especially the person who, man, because the thing is, once you're in this, you either have to accept that you've lost $500 or you have to, man, you have to really hustle. You have to really hustle. And people are thinking that I'm not remembering that. Well, I'm just going to only do it with my friends. The math does not work out. The math doesn't work out. If you just try to go do, just as an experiment, try to go do exactly what she's talking about, you have to add more people. That's why it doesn't stop. That's why it's not like a sou-sou. A sou-sou eventually stops. A pyramid scheme goes on and on and on because you have to get that 500 from somewhere. From somewhere. You're not creating wealth. You're creating debt.
What you guys are looking at is the friends and family share flour.
What you're looking at is a very complicated and cosplayed way to say that this is a Ponzi pyramid scheme. When people start bringing out graphs that are not just simple information, like this is, if I were in school, as messed up as education was, thank goodness I went to school with critical thinking. If I were in school and my teacher gave me this chart and said, this is a graph that explains how you can take $500 one month and then 4 weeks later you can have $3,500. This graph will explain that. I would look up at my teacher and display signs of ADHD because I would laugh. I would go off in her face. I would fidget. I would do all, because this is stupid. This is stupid. And this is what psychologically manipulative people do. They overcomplicate things that fundamentally don't make sense. The more complicated the explanation, the more it seems like it makes sense. The more complicated the explanation, the more it seems like it makes sense. And you just listen to it over and over and over again until eventually something shuts off. Something shuts off. It makes sense, and it makes sense because you feel like it should make sense. When at the end, you know what happens is when you give that initial $500, once it's gone and it's out there, like you don't know, it would be better to take $500 and go buy, for me right now, it would be better for me to go take $500 and buy some shit to decorate the back of my studio office with so that it adds value to my video, so that when I make videos, other people go tell them about them. And so when I start making videos about parenting and teaching and lessons and somebody wants to buy them, or I give them away for free and people just donate what they want, I think that's a much better idea. Let's do that one, because I don't want to be a scam. I don't want to be a scam. So when I start making these videos for free, full-fledged videos on relationships, everything for free, and people want to donate and they want to tell somebody about this therapist they know, how much better would it be to see something other than that one thing on the wall over there, my bed frame, because I'm in the middle of taking, like, how much better would it be to see more stuff? That's an investment. Now I have something that's providing me value. And since I am an asset, since I am something that produces money and makes money and generates money, I'm investing in me, not in this scam. As opposed to, again, a sou-sou, I'm investing in my community, man. It's us. It's us. I know you, you know me. I know you got your tractor. I know that you got your whatever the hell it is that you wanted, because we did it together. The community. With this, it is not community. It is about taking advantage of your warm market. Your warm market. It's the circle of people that you know that are in your immediate circle that would do anything for you. And then now I feel guilty because I got to go find two motherfuckers to get $500 to. That's the difference. She's telling, it just sounds good, but if you just listen to what she's saying, you will see that she's not saying nothing at all. She's not saying anything. She told you at the beginning what a sou-sou was. She talked about how this is not a sou-sou, and now she's talking about why are we even looking at this picture? Do you see? Do you see? If you don't take time to stop and just look, you will be fooled.
So there are 4 positions on the flower, which equals 4 weeks. Week 1, you come in as a fire. That's when you give your $500 gift. Week 2, you move to the air position. Week 3, to the earth position. And week 4, the water position, where you are paid out the $4,000 gift.
Stop using the term gift. That's what she's doing. You got to be very careful with manipulative people, because what they do is they use language to rewrite your reality. It is not a gift any more than it is a payment. It is an exchange of money. Stop calling it something that it's not. You are exchanging money for the position of being in a place where next time someone else who exchanges money, you benefit from their exchange of money. Don't call this a gift. That's stupid. That's stupid. This is not a gift. But that's what you do when you're a psychologically manipulative person. And I don't even think she realizes that she's doing it. Yeah.
Week 1, you enter as a fire.
The one thing cults love to do, man, cults love to give people titles. If we can rename stuff, you're not coming in as that person giving $500. You are coming in as a fire. Oh man, you are a fire. Do you understand how bright you burn? Oh, you're a fire, and you just gonna contribute that $500, and that fire is gonna grow brightly. It's gonna go bigger, and before you know it, that fire, it's gonna turn into water. It's gonna extinguish that fire. Man, come on, bro. This shit is easy.
And you pay the initial $500 gift to the person that's in the water position. Now, each of the 8 fires on this flower will do the exact same thing. They'll enter with $500 and they'll send that $500 gift to the position of water. It's so important that you have 2 people waiting
I
to
bet
become
it
fire
is.
the following week in order for you to move to the air position.
Listen to what she said. Listen to what she said. It's so important that you have 2 people waiting to be fire so that you can move up to the air position, which means in order for you to do this, you must convince 2 other people to give you $500. The easiest people to convince are going to be your friends. They're going to be your friends. And then there are some people that will take me saying no or take someone saying no as a message about the friendship, when it's like, I'm not saying no to you. I'm saying no to this. I know that this is a scam. This is very simple. This is like in mental health. Whenever they come up with theories for how people change and theories and stuff, what they do is they make stuff overcomplicated so that you will listen. My clients that work with me and we have issues that you could describe as ADHD, we always go back to sometimes you got to do things that you don't feel like doing. And you just have to do it. And, and medication can help. It can absolutely help. It can absolutely help. But what do you do when you don't feel like taking your medicine? Sometimes you got to do things you don't feel like doing. And so you overcomplicate it. You have people talking about take a dopamine detox or gamify your life. All of these things to say, bruh, sometimes you're not going to feel like, I got to go buy a bicycle later. Sometimes you're not going to feel like going to get things and you just have to go do them, But if you overcomplicate it, you forget that and you keep going. Just like this, you overcomplicate a Ponzi scheme. You throw some Jesus colors in there like the purple and stuff. You have a very, very calm voice. You put on a slideshow that looks like it means something. I mean, there's a misspelling here, week on order, but that's okay, because not a misspelling, it's a grammatical error, but that's okay, because I've made thousands of grammatical errors. The point is, this is purposefully confusing so that you just keep looking at it and listening. That's why people send the video. That's why no one is able to explain this themselves. You can't, because it's not supposed to be explained, because the truth of the matter is, where are the other 2 folks gonna come from? In a sou-sou, it's a closed system. You don't need any more people to make a sou-sou work. Why do I need more people to make this work? Why can't I just be patient? Why can't I just do $100 once a week for a month? Why do I have to give $500 up front? It's almost like the person in that water position is trying to get out before, So when you get, now I understand. So when you're ready to do it, when you've convinced yourself that this is a good idea, you need to go convince 2 other people so that you can make sure. And there are going to be some people who are not going to do that. There are going to be some people who are going to say, yes, I can do this. And then they're going to watch my video, hopefully, or they're going to go do even just the smallest amount of research, or they are going to just feel something inside of them that just says, hang on a moment. I know you love that person. Go research this. Because again, I have been taken advantage of by so many scams. I've been taken advantage. I've lost more money than I care to admit. My friend, my socially awkward friend, Megan, who is also a computer programmer and super awesome. We were playing video games one day. And she started talking about passwords. And she was saying, that's just like those people that have the same password for every single account. And while I didn't have the same password for every single account, a lot of my passwords were the same. And that was deeply embarrassing to me. It was deeply embarrassing to me because I know better. I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad. I'm telling you because I love you. If you feel like I'm making fun of you, then you're not hearing what I'm saying. I am saying that a sou-sou is a great idea, which I would love to be a part of. Friends and family share is a scam. This is a scam. This is a scam for the simple reason that it's not a closed system. It's not a closed system. It has to stay open. You have to continue to get more people. But let's just continue. Let's let her tell on herself.
and whomever is in the air position moves up to the earth position, and so forth. So before you decide to join, make sure that you have two folks that are serious and ready to go with $500 that following week. Otherwise, the program will not work properly. Again, make sure you have the two people waiting the following week with $500 to join your flower.
Your flower. Your flower. How many flowers are
Week two
there, I wonder?
represents air. After you bring in your two people as fire, you move into the position of air. There are always 4 air positions on your 15-person flower. Now, each of the air positions must do the same thing. They have to bring in 2 fires each, and in which case that would represent 8 fires on the flower. Now, each of these 8 fires, as they come in, they're going to gift $500.
Is anybody confused? Is anybody confused? You should be, because the way that this is designed is to be confusing. So we're going to take a break, and we're not just going to listen mindfully. We're going to interject, and we're going to allow ourselves to, the phrase I like to use is reset the neutral in your mind. So what I do when I'm playing fighting games competitively and I feel stuck or I feel lost, I just take a deep breath, and then I go back and look at the information. So we're going to take a deep, in the real time, we're going to take a deep breath together, and we're going to read through this, and we're going to understand why it doesn't make sense. After you bring in 2 people as fire, you move to the air position. The other fire positions must do the same thing. So that means that everybody on your 15-person flower has to do this. All of the other fires on this flower have to do this. That means it's not just you. You're waiting on other people to find other people to do stuff too. And the only way that this works is either you dupe people or you use friends and family. And man, this is the most insidious. This is really sad. This really upsets me. Because friends and family, and you're not going to have very many friends and family after this. This is going to destroy families because people are going to be so upset, and because it just accepting that this is a scam. Accepting that this is a scam and accepting that they've lost $500 to some people, it's just going to be too much. It's going to be too much to handle. And instead of realizing I can just let it go, they're going to continue to push and push and push and wear people down. And that's just going to trickle. This is not how you create wealth. This is how you create debt. This is how you destroy communities. This is how you destroy communities. This is what probably happened with the Kojic Church, the Church of God in Christ, which is a cult. I remember reading something about some sort of incorporation, something that they did to completely change the church structure. It makes sense to me. And now all they care about is money too. Yeah. The person that invited you will now move to the earth position, and her people sit next to them as an heir.
To the person that's holding the water position, and again, that totals the $4,000 gift.
Notice how she keeps using that word gift. If she would say they are going to exchange money, they are going to give money to another person in the hopes that they can find 2 other people to give money to them. If she would have said it like that, you wouldn't be so defensive. It's psychological manipulation 101. She's very good at it. And either she knows exactly what she's doing, which is terrifying, or she has no clue what it is she's doing, which is also terrifying. And she's doing a very, very good job of it.
The earth, those are the folks that probably the folks that invited you to this call. They are moving from the air position into the earth position, and you've replaced them at this point as heirs.
Oh my God, I get it now. Which means that the people that invited you to this call, they're at the 3rd step. They just need to get more people to, oh my God. This is so terrible. Who is this, Tandra somebody? I would love for you to be on my show. Hell, I'll give you, if this gets traction, I'll give you $4,000 to sit down on my show and just explain this concept and just let me ask questions. So if someone knows who this person is, I'll give her $4,000 to come on my show and explain this concept and answer questions. Answer questions not from me, but from my viewers. Answer questions from Facebook. Answer questions about friends and family. Share $4,000 to Miss Tandra. I think that's her name is. I didn't see the first part of it, but Yeah, I'll give you $4,000 to sit down for an hour. Let's do an hour and a half, and just answer questions. And if at the end of that you can prove that this is not a pyramid scheme, then I will wholeheartedly endorse this, and I will, just completely change over my entire YouTube channel and promote this. I absolutely will. This is all that I will talk about. You mean that people can increase their investments in money by 8 times? Like, that's it? Yeah, I'll use my whole YouTube channel to talk about this. I'll scream it from the rooftop. So if someone knows who she is, because you have to, there's no way that something like this works without somebody being at the top. And so the people at the top know what's going on. This isn't, it's easy stuff. You're using very, very textbook psychological manipulation. There was a study that was done in the 60s and 70s, I believe, where they had someone sit down at a computer that displayed random buttons. And so when they pressed it, the buttons up on the computer would just do random stuff. And after a while, they let them sit there for a while. People actually came up with stories about why it was working, how they were getting certain things. And of course, they were all bullshit. It was completely and totally random. And the thing that was super awesome is that you could convince someone else of your truth the more complicated it was. So the more complicated explanation that people had for why this thing worked, the more likely people were to believe them. And so this is the same thing. This is a pyramid scheme that's cosplaying as a legitimate sou-sou. And it's going to make sou-sous look bad, because I don't know who started this, but you can take this as far as you want. But sou-sou, something that will actually help the Black community build wealth, are now going to be associated with this bullshit. And so now people aren't going to use it. People are going to be skeptical of it in the same way that I was. And I had a right to be skeptical of this. I heard it in her voice when she first started talking. When she said that I tell you about this exciting opportunity, or if I want to get someone to do something, you tell them in such a way that it's like you're giving them something, and then they'll go with it. It's very, very simple to do.
You're at week 3 and you are moving into the earth position. Now, the 2 people that you brought in is sitting next to you at the air position. And this is where I got a little confused when I was first introduced into this program, because I'm thinking, wow, there's going to be 2 people pushing into the earth position, and then there's
where are my black CPAs at? Where are my black CPAs at? Where are my black CPAs at? Please come talk on this.
After I listened a few times and I played with it, I started to understand.
So one of the things that sucks the most about the legacy of slavery and racism in the United States is that it has infected our people with the inability to trust their first mind. Right now, what she's saying is, when I first started reading this, I got confused. Instead of seeing that as a message from herself that there's something wrong with this information because of the way that systemic racism works, she's saying there's something wrong with me, right? Because obviously this must be right. It's just because I don't know. Sometimes we internalize because I'm black and I'm stupid. I shouldn't know how no, there's no way. It's on a page. It's in a PowerPoint presentation. How could she be wrong? He's standing up. His camera looks good. He has a microphone. He's wearing a jacket. How could he be wrong? How could they be? And it just happens. You will run out of people in the known. John Oliver did it on his show. He said, like, you run out of known people in the universe in like 6 months if everybody does this. If everybody on the face of the, maybe not 6 months, maybe I could actually do the math. I'm just not good at math. And then, well, if you're not good at math, how can you say that this person is wrong? Because I don't need a diagram. I'm not over here talking about week 3 being earth and fire. Like, listen to what she's doing. Like, look at it. Just take a moment. We're talking about earth, air, fires. We're talking about flower splitting. What is this? This is not, when I called my CPA for the first time and understood finances and took a financial literacy class, my CPA was not talking to me about earth, air, fire, and water. My CPA was talking to me about assets and liabilities and incorporation and S-corps. My CPA was telling me how money works. And what is her credentials? If she is a CPA, if she is someone who has earned the right to talk about money, I will listen. And if she is someone who says, well, you know what? It's not that I haven't earned the right. The system was racist. I couldn't become a CPA because of the barriers in place. Okay, that's fine. I want you to tell me how to make a budget. I want you to show me that you have earned the right to give out this sort of financial information, because again, this information is going to harm one of 2 people on a spectrum. It's going to harm people who just simply don't know, and there's going to harm people who this seems like a solution to a problem. And I know I'm a loser. lose friends over this. That's all right. That's okay. I've had to learn that it is okay for me to have a point of view that's different than others. I know I'm not wrong here. This is a scam. There are other people saying it's a scam. Sou-sous are not scams. They are closed systems. If you did it with these 15 people, everybody gave 100 for a week for however long, eventually you would get the money back that you saved. That's all it is. It's a savings account. This is a scam because it requires you to get more people. This is illegal in some states. And the thing that's the most insidious about it is that people are going to say, I'm not being a good black person. I don't care about my community. This isn't about community. A sou-sou is about community. This is friends and family share. Black lives matter. All lives matter. Maybe I did that backwards. The point that I'm making is these things aren't, there's a difference. If the sou-sou was working for 200 years, why do we need to change it? Oh, so you can get the money faster. It's a scam, y'all. It's a scam. And if me telling you that makes you not love me anymore, then that's fine. It's a scam. Don't do it. This is not how you build wealth. Go find out about an actual see how those work. This is a scam. I can't imagine what's going to happen when they put all the religious shit to it. Imagine a church on Sunday. The Lord has blessed me with this message. I just want to let you know that, He has put on my heart that you should try this. It's not like a traditional sou-sou. This is where you can get a return on your investment much quicker. All you got to do is sow a seed in the name of the... Come on, y'all. Let's actually get some wealth. Let's actually build some wealth. Where are my black CPAs at? Where are my black CPAs at? Please come talk on this.